Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with my brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday Shopper today. Taking a go out today, see what things came out today, see what things are on sale. And today, is the 4th of July. So there's definitely, I would think, is going to be some stuff on sale. So definitely interested in seeing, what 4th of July sales are going on today as well. And I know, Walmart today, since it's the first Tuesday of the month, they change out the whole section. So they should have in some new stuff as well, in the actual section when they get some like kind of obscure horror titles and stuff like that. So definitely interested in seeing, what they got in the section as well today. Also, at the end of this video, going to have a couple new DVD and Blu-ray reviews for some stuff I received to review and talk about for you guys. And be sure too this Saturday to check out my brand new DVD Blu-ray update as well. So that'll be up this Saturday. But anyway though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to go to another Target because it doesn't look like they put anything new out at all. It's all the same stuff from last week, and it's about almost 1 o'clock, so I'm here a little later, but nothing has been changed out. So we're gonna have to go and look at another Target to see. There wasn't a whole lot of releases today, but there was some stuff that came out, so we'll definitely have to go and look at another Target later to see, what they put out, because like I said, it's all the same stuff in here from last week. It would be funny though if this is one of those Tuesdays when there was absolutely nothing new out at all in any of the stores. I think like the only really big releases this week was, Zookeeper's Wife and Song to Song or Song by Song, something like that. I should have a review though of that one soon, but like maybe, nowhere's put anything out. Hopefully though Walmart actually put some stuff out, because like I said, today is the first Tuesday of the month, so they usually switch some stuff out. But I will check after Walmart though another Target just to see if maybe they didn't switch the stuff out in here yet. Into Walmart we go. I've really got to keep my fingers crossed that they put anything new out in here at all today, because there was some stuff though, some smaller releases that came out today, so hopefully they've got some stuff in here today. Otherwise it's going to be like a true DVD bust day when there's nothing new at all, unless that other Target puts stuff out. And I feel like though the Best Buy is going to have some stuff out as well. I feel like that Target probably just didn't change the section at all yet. Well, they've actually have changed the section. There is some stuff missing in here, but this is some of the stuff that came out today. This one movie, which I might get this one, this Vincent and Roxy, which stars Emil Hirsch and Zoe Kravitz, and I always really liked Zoe Kravitz, and it looks like kind of an interesting movie about them like on the run for some people or something like that. And this other one came out today as well, which I kind of want to watch this. It may be one of those ones that's really not great, but the cover to it kind of looks cool, called like Awakening the Zodiac. And it's some kind of a movie about the Zodiac killer, but looks kind of interesting. Like I said, it's one of those ones though that may not be amazing or anything. But the big release today, which they didn't have out in the Target, was The Zookeeper's Wife, and I don't know much at all about this one. If you guys have seen that movie, let me know if that one's worth checking out. And I think this movie may have been today as well, this King Arthur, Excalibur Rising. I believe this was one of the other releases today. And this one might have been today, When the Heart Calls, The Heart of a Teacher. I think that was today, like a Hallmark movie. And this might have been as well, this Victor movie. But I think I'm going to get these ones. These are a decent price, like not terrible. They're $12.96 each. And these were the two ones that I did want to try and find today, though. But I'll look in the section, though, and see if they have anything else in there. And over here in the section, though, there is some new stuff in here today. Like, this one was today. This one called The Operative. So I don't know anything about this one. The Operative came out today. I see this other one was Vampire Wars. This one released today, and this one was actually from Echo Bridge, and I didn't even know they were releasing stuff anymore. I haven't seen anything new released from them in a really, really long time. This other one was today too, this movie 13 Demons, You Play, You Die, and I think I saw the trailer of this one, and it kind of looks like a Warcraft, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of movie, something like that. This movie was today, this Ashura one, I believe, came out today. But this one kind of looked interesting. These two different ones down here, the Hollow one. I got another one I don't know a lot about. This one I might get, this Hollow one. And this Terrence Stamp movie. Well, Terrence Stamp is always pretty cool. This movie, him is like somebody out in the woods or something, like the head of the woods, or I don't know. It looks like a kind of an interesting movie. And then the other one today, and I reviewed this one a long time ago, the UK version of this. It's a movie called The Evil in Us. This was actually kind of a cool movie about these people going out to the woods and like a virus infects them and they all kind of start going crazy and stuff. This was actually kind of cool though. Like, wasn't amazing or anything, but this one I did, like I said, I did review that one a while back if you guys want to look up the review of that. But other than that though, that seems to be all the main stuff that came out in here today. And in here they also do have the Spider-Man movies, you know, available separately, but I looked, they're not the new ones that are in the new set, so this is the old discs repackaged, because I was kind of hoping you could get the, you know, the Spider-Man 3, because they know it has that editor's cut one, but it doesn't seem like though you can get that version separately. It seems like you can only get that one in that movie pack one that has all of them together. Yeah, so the ones I ended up getting, you know, was that Awakening the Zodiac one, and then the Crow movie, which actually sounded interesting. I decided not to get that Vincent and Roxy one. If you guys have seen that movie, let me know how it is. I think it's probably going to end up being on Netflix, and I don't know, like I saw some reviews that didn't sound that amazing. I'm sure neither of these are that great, but this Crow one, like I always really liked Terrence Stamp, and it said it was kind of like, you know, Evil Dead with the Wicker Man. Like, I don't know, it just sounded like really, really strange and stuff, so I definitely really wanted to see this one. This one was only $9.99. And this Zodiac one is like trying to solve the Zodiac murders because they find like a film reel and stuff. It sounded interesting though. They may both not be that great, but you know, these are two of the ones or at least this one I did want to try and find today. And this past weekend I saw a couple different movies. The first one I saw was Beguiled, which is actually a remake of a movie that originally starred Clint Eastwood. And from what I heard, they changed a couple things around. A couple characters from the original weren't in the new one. And it's one of those movies though, I liked it, but it's like I don't feel like I really would watch it again, and it didn't really live on to me too much. You know, it's basically though about Colin Farrell, and he's like injured during the war, and he goes to this girls' school that's, you know, run by, you know, Nicole Kidman and Kirsten Dunst's characters, and he goes there and like all the girls are kind of falling in love with him, and it's a really weird thing, and they don't know if they should turn him in because he's on the other side. You know, the war team that he's with is, you know, the other side, because like during the South, during the Civil War. It was okay. The other one though that I saw, you know, was the Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler film, The House. That's one of those kind of movies, you know, with Will Ferrell's movies, you kind of always know what you're getting into. And I think my favorite of his films probably are, you know, Step Brothers, and then probably Old School are the ones that I probably watch the most, especially Step Brothers. This one, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't like that amazing, but it still had some funny aspects to it. It's basically about them as parents trying to get their girl to college, because like they were gonna have this scholarship for her, but they lost it, and because like this town's gonna use it for like a water park and stuff, so they don't know what they're gonna do. So they end up, you know, coming up with the idea of turning their friend's house into an underground casino, and then running the casino and all the kind of problems they run into when they're running it and all the weird situations. And the other one that I saw, this is one of those movies where the trailers to them, I thought like the first couple of trailers weren't that great. Some of the later ones were a little better, but they didn't really like pull me in too much. But then the movie was actually really, really cool, and that was Baby Driver. And that's basically about Ansel Elgort's character, who's like a driver working for Kevin Spacey, and he's kind of like driving away from bank robberies and all these kind of robberies for him. And it's kind of like he has like tinnitus in his ears, so he has that humming sound all the time. So he's always listening to music. So he's kind of always theming all of his like driving for the robberies and stuff to the music on his iPod. And I thought they did a really, really good job of like theming the music to all the sequences of him driving, and then like starting music over if like they didn't start exactly when he wanted the robberies and stuff. And there's also a lot of cool like cameos and like music people in there, like Paul Williams, who was in, you know, Phantom of the Paradise. He's in the movie. Flea's in the film. A lot of other people as well. I really, really liked Baby Driver. Let me know below what you guys thought, you know, and if you guys saw any of those movies this past weekend. Coming up though, you know, on Thursday, I'm definitely going to be seeing the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie. That one I'm really interested in seeing how that one is. But like I said, let me know below what you guys thought of those ones, if you guys got to see them, or any of the ones that you saw this past weekend. Well, gonna head into the second Target and see if this location put anything out at all. Like I said, wasn't a lot of really big title releases today, so maybe this one didn't put anything out on the shelves either, but we shall see. Yeah, and in here though, the only thing that they did get was The Zookeeper's Wife. Like I thought, that's the only new release in here that they seem to have at all today. You know, with this one, like I said, I don't know anything about this one, so if you guys have seen this movie, let me know how this one is. Yeah, but today definitely is one of the smallest DVD release weeks in a really, really long time. Besides the stuff at Walmart, I don't know, we'll see if Best Buy has anything, but definitely is a very, very small release week today. Into Best Buy we go. And in Best Buy, this was one of the other ones that came out this week as well. This one, Accidental Exorcist. I'm going to have a review of this one at the end of this video. But like I said, not a huge release weekend here. They have this one as well, this King Arthur one, which I don't know a lot about this movie at all. And that one's $14.99. This Accidental Exorcist one, though, that's only $9.99 for the Blu-ray of that one. And in here, though, this is one of the only other things that I see that came out today, this movie called Drone, starring Sean Bean. But other than that, though, you know, they had the zookeeper's wife in the front, but really not a whole lot of other things out today, though. Really was a much smaller week. I know coming up, though, there's going to be a lot of other things coming out, but this week, though, really was a small one. I think just because it was the 4th as well, and not as many people are going to be out buying things. Well, that's all for this DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I said, not a huge release week, but I did find those things at Walmart. Now, like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Now stay tuned for a couple of new DVD Blu-ray reviews, as well as be on the lookout for my new update video this Saturday. Anyway though, guys, thanks again for watching and subscribing. Now stay tuned for the reviews. And the first one I got from Arrow Video, just want to let you guys know this one is available now. It's a movie starring Sonny Chiba, and it's from the same director who directed Battles Without Honor and Humanity and Cops vs. Thugs. And both of those were released, I believe, from Arrow Video a couple months back. And this is his other film called Doberman Cop. It's a movie from 1977. This is basically about Sonny Chiba as this cop who's going to this town to investigate the murder of this girl who was working there as a prostitute, and it was like really violent death. And it's pretty much him there trying to get to the bottom, investigating, what had happened and why this had happened to this girl, and there's all these kind of connections to her with the mob. And like I said, since she was a prostitute, there's all that, and he's kind of there trying to investigate the whole thing. It has on here though an interview with Sonny Chiba, and inside of here it has a booklet about the film, some facts about the film, as well as some stills and stuff like that. I always love how Arrow Video always puts in their releases, booklets and stuff like that about the movie, and like some interviews and all that kind of stuff, and facts about the film. It also has in here reverse artwork on this one as well, which I believe this is probably the original poster artwork for this one. But a really cool release here, and just want to let you guys know, like I said, this one is available now from Arrow Video US. The next one here from the Criterion Collection. This is a movie I always really love. This movie, I had not watched this one in a really long time. They made a remake of this movie. I didn't really love the remake at all. It was one of those things like I thought the original movie was just such a great movie. This is the brand new Criterion release edition of Straw Dogs. This is the movie starring Dustin Hoffman and Susan George. I've always really loved this movie, and the artwork on this movie, the poster for this is just such a great image. So I'm glad they went with this, this image for this release. A movie that was basically about Dustin Hoffman and his wife, and he goes and moves back to the small town where his wife grew up in England, and it's this real small little town that's where everybody knows everybody, and they're working on this house, trying to fix up the house that they moved into, and he hires these workers in the town, and it's kind of like the workers are really spying and watching his wife, and the wife is in the house, she's showering and changing, stuff like that, and they're all kind of watching her and kind of becoming obsessed with her, and it's they're kind of really skeezing out on her. It's something is this really weird stuff with them. There's a whole lot of weird undertones of this whole movie as well, but it's basically though kind of what it happens, and it's kind of a real revenge crazy type movie. I've always really loved this movie. It has on here though a brand new 4K digital transfer in this one, and it also has on here a commentary track with Stephen Prince, the author of Savage Cinema, Sam Peckinpah, and the Rise of Ultraviolet Movies. This is also a really early ultraviolet movie that kind of, I would say, inspired things like Last House on the Left and those kind of real revenge type films. It has on here as well a 2003 documentary about the making of the film, as well as a 1993 documentary on Sam Peckinpah, new interviews with Linda Williams about the film's controversy. So tons and tons of features on here. Really great new release here from from the Criterion Collection of a really great movie. And I feel like this is one of those movies too, you don't hear about it as much when they talk about early Dustin Hoffman movies. You hear about The Graduate a lot, but you don't hear about Straw Dogs very much. And this is just a really, really great movie. The next one here from Sony is the TV series, the complete second season of Underground. I started watching this. I had not seen the first season of this one, but it kind of recapped it, so I kind of got what was going on. Didn't totally. It's one of those shows where I feel like if I would have seen the first season, I would have really known it. It was kind of interesting, too. The main actress in this show I was like thinking, like I felt like I recognized her from something. Then I looked her up, and she like acted when she was a kid as well, and she looks really similar to how she did. She was on, Full House as like Michelle's friend, and she was in the movie Jack as like the one girl that like Robin Williams' character was like friends with, or he had some kind of fights with and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool to see her in this show. This is basically though dealing with, during the time of like slavery and the whole Underground Railroad, what was going on. It's about a group of like, these people helping, help the Underground Railroad with like helping the slaves kind of get away, and like, and then it was also dealing with like people who were slaves, and then all the kind of terrible things they were going through, and then them trying to get help to escape. And that's essentially the plot of it. It's like I said, I haven't really, seen the first season, so I can't really explain it all, and I just started watching through this now. But just want to let you guys know that this one is out, and has on here though deleted scenes and a gag reel for this release as well. The next one here from Fox, and this is an interesting movie starring Jeremy Irons, and and I've always been a fan of Jeremy Irons. It's a movie called Correspondence. It's basically though about Jeremy Irons, and he's like this professor, and it's like his student, and it's kind of like him having this relationship with her, and she's way younger than him, and they're kind of like the relationship is all like they meet up, but it's so much of it is through like technology and like talking to each other on Skype and texting and messages, and it's kind of like they're all kind of like living. I guess the whole interesting thing too is like how he's so much older, and how like he's really into the technology, and he's like they're always like kind of talking about when they're gonna meet up and stuff, and it's like them kind of and she kind of like works doing like stunt work, and also does like some kind of other stuff as well. It's kind of hard to explain all the whole thing. I didn't get into this too much, but it was an interesting kind of thing though about them and their kind of like long distance relationship, but really like talking about seeing each other, but all through communications and messages and texts and stuff like that. This one here, I really like this movie. It's a movie from this is from the company released from the company Orchard, and it's like a burn on demand release. I'm gonna put a link though for where you guys can get this one. It's a movie called Patchwork, and I really like this movie because it had like a really goofy kind of vibe to it, of like a throwback to like Frankenhooker mixed with like Reanimator and that kind of vibe thing. It's basically though about this it's like these three girls that were kidnapped by somebody and taken to this weird medical facility with like these medical people there, and they took like basically and like stitched them together in all these weird ways, and like these it's basically like the one girl's face sort of, and they're all kind of like stitched together. It's very peculiar, the whole thing, but they're all stitched together, these three of them, and their minds have all kind of morphed into one. So like they're kind of like talking to each other, and I thought it was kind of cool the way they did the talking to each other stuff, because they would basically have the three different actresses like in the room, and like on other sides of the room like talking to each other, going, we should do this and we should do that, we should figure out exactly what happened to us, and what can you remember what happened, and what happened to you last night, and how did this happen. And it's basically like it cuts back into like different parts of like showing the three girls and kind of like how they got to where they got to. And it's basically them trying to figure out exactly what had happened, and figuring out, get to the bottom of like the clues for how they got stitched together like this. I love this. It was like I said, a very goofy kind of like silly concept movie, but it really felt like a total throwback to those type of movies. I don't know. I would definitely recommend you guys check this out. Like I just thought this was a really fun movie. This one I just want you guys know is available now from Wellgo USA. It's a movie called Bitcoin Heist, and this is basically though about a group of these people, this terrible like hacker who's stolen all this money and stuff like that, and these group of these people who have kind of come together, this whole team, to try and stop them and try and find them. It's got sort of like an Ocean's 11 type vibe to the movie, mixed with sort of Now You See Me, because the movie deals with like these magician characters and all these different kind of characters coming together to try and stop this guy. But just want to let you guys know, like I said, this one is available, and this one has the Blu-ray and the DVD in this version. This one here from Cinedigm, this is kind of a fun different concept on like Exorcist type movies, and it's a movie called Accidental Exorcist. This is basically about this it's basically he's kind of like going, and it's instead of being like a priest or something like that he's doing exorcisms, like there's all these people kind of getting possessed and stuff like that throughout this city. And it's this guy who's kind of like not really good at anything else in his life, and he's kind of a mess, and he's kind of like all screwed up and like disheveled and stuff, but all he really can do is like perform exorcisms. So he goes around and he's kind of trying to help people, and it's kind of him going from place to place and all the kind of weird type possessed people that he's going to, to have to help, and like, and all these kind of weird type of encounters, and there's like some really creepy kind of people that he comes across that he has to try and help, and he's trying to figure out like how he, like, because like I said, he's got nothing else really in his life going on, everything else is kind of screwed up, and this is kind of like the one thing he's good at. And it was actually kind of well done for a different type of take on an exorcism thing, like I said, rather than just being the typical kind of one where it's like a priest and that kind of thing. This is just some regular kind of normal guy that for some reason has the ability to perform these exorcisms. And the next one here from MVD is a movie called Navy SEALs v Demons, or Navy SEALs versus Demons. This is kind of an interesting movie. It was like basically in this small town, there's like some kind of like demonic presence that are like taking over people, and like people are like getting like taken over by these zombies, and like you don't know if they're zombies or not. And it's kind of like this one guy who was like a Navy SEAL who's kind of retired and done with it. He gets recruited to go back in, to go into this town, and it's kind of him forming a group, and he has to get like a group of these bikers and stuff like that to try and help him go to this town and try and figure out exactly what is behind this and what is behind these like demons and stuff like that. So it's them trying to like stop the town and figure out, get the town back and stuff like that, and figure out exactly what is going on. There's some crazy like demon type characters and stuff in this one. It's a kind of, like I said, an interesting kind of concept to this whole thing about them trying to take back the town, like working with these bikers. Like you would be like, what are these bikers doing? And they're like the ones trying to help him along the way with the Navy and stuff like that. It was definitely an interesting, different kind of movie like this. The next one here from this is from Severin Films, from their line Intervision. This is like a real cool film called Feed the Light. It's based on a story by H.P. Lovecraft, and really cool cover on this one. It's basically though about this girl who goes to work for this, like, in this weird type building, kind of like working like club, clean the place up, and like everyone there is really strange, and the person she gets the job from is like really mean to her, and like all the people that work there are mean and kind of yelling at her and stuff like that. Essentially, she's there trying to find her daughter who had gone missing and like believed to be seen in this building. And it's kind of like her in there trying to find her, and then she discovers this tape, like this like video camera with this tape, and she's like watching the tape, and she sees her daughter in this tape, and it's kind of like going through the whole labyrinth of this building, trying to get to the bottom of where her daughter is and like what this building really even is, because it's a very creepy, weird building. It kind of has that vibe in the hallways and stuff like that of like Session 9, that real dark kind of creepy kind of aspect movie. But it has on here though a making of this one, and an interview on here with the director talking about the H.P. Lovecraft's story, how it had an influence on him for this movie. And it's also all done in black and white, and then there's like sequences that are in color, like some of the blood and some of the segments and stuff. But it's like a pretty cool, trippy, creepy concept movie about her in this weird building with all these weird characters. The next one here, and this is one released from Sector 5. This is a movie called Six Models in Hell, and this is like a super, super, super low budget movie. But sometimes I really love super low budget movies when they're done like in a funny kind of fun way. And this movie is one of those ones that like I really like. I was thinking about a lot just because it was a really fun, silly movie. Like I said, it's called Six Models in Hell. And it's about a group of these models who go to this building, and they're like trying to go there to like audition for something, like I guess like runway type model or something. And they get in there, and they're all kind of talking to each other, going, well, I've done this, and I've been in this thing, and I've been in this print ad, and I've done this. And they're all kind of giving each other crap about things, and like, well, have you done this? And you're a novice at this, you don't know what you're doing. But they go into this weird building. The second they go in there though, and there's also this one guy there too who's like, oh, I'm the MC here, and I'm like, he's like telling stupid jokes and stuff. He's like, I'm going to help you MC this whole event. But they go in there, go into the elevator, and the elevator is like screwed up, and it keeps on going up and down, and they're getting stuck in it. And then they leave the elevator, and it's basically though like weird stuff starts to happen in there. And like there's like this scene that was amazing of somebody, for one reason or another, you have to see the movie to see, like he's dressed like a pimp. And it's like this like Halloween store cheap pimp costume, and like it was amazing. Like there was just like something amazing, especially like this person who was playing the pimp. Like the whole scene, and then like some of the things that ways people were dying in this movie. And like I said, it's like not really well done personally, but like that's what kind of made it amazing. Was just like I absolutely love this just because it was so ridiculous when they're in this building and they're all their bitching back and forth to the characters and stuff like that. It's just like absurd. I don't know. I just love this one. Like it's not going to be for everybody at all, but I just found it to be a really really fun movie, and I kind of tell like they just knew they were just making it to be like a really fun movie. The next one I got from MTI is a movie called Blood Hunt. This is basically a movie about a couple driving through like the outback kind of area of Australia, and they're going kind of on a trip, and they're kind of like also in the car kind of arguing with each other about like getting pregnant and if she wants to get pregnant and all this kind of stuff. But of course though, they end up running into the gas station. There are these two really weird guys that are hitting on the girlfriend, and she kind of tells them off. And of course though, she sees those guys later with their car broken down. They kind of drive by and ignore them, and because of that, then later they kind of get the karma of their car breaking down, and then these guys kind of come after them, these two bad guys, and like take them and hold them captive. And it's kind of like a Wolf Creek kind of vibe, like Last House on the Left, of these really weird guys, and them like kind of holding them captive, and then those two trying to get away and escape from them. I thought this was kind of a cool movie, and it definitely has a really cool setting to this one. The next one from MTI as well is a movie called Transhuman, and this is the movie basically about this woman who's like a journalist, and she's going to like investigate different types of things, and she's in Africa. And the person that she's with, like her partner there, they're in this weird kind of like building type place, like tomb kind of place. And she sees this one guy chained up, and he's like, she doesn't know what's going on. She's trying to free him. And then the one partner ends up like running off and getting attacked and killed by something. And she ends up escaping from this building. And then, of course, when she gets back, though, she's kind of telling about what had happened, and she finds out that her one friend has gone missing, and she doesn't know exactly what's happening. And the whole movie kind of deals with all this cult stuff and this cult activity, and she doesn't know if like there's some connection to what happened in Africa to what happened to the one friend. It's kind of her trying to investigate the whole thing and get to the bottom of the whole thing and what happened to her friend and what happened in Africa, and the whole thing. Kind of an interesting, kind of creepy thing, like I said, all dealing with like a real cult kind of aspect to this. The next one here from Strand Releasing is a movie called A Woman Apart. This is a movie basically about this woman who's this actress, and she's like doing this TV show that she's been doing for years, and she's really unhappy with how it's going. The writing is kind of getting crappy on it, and she's not like liking the way her character's going. She's kind of like really upset about the whole thing, and she ends up kind of leaving on the break from the show, and she's kind of not, and she goes back to New York where she used to live, and she's kind of not knowing if she's going to like pursue acting anymore, if she's going to kind of quit the whole thing and kind of go to a whole different type of life, because she's just not happy with the way things are in her life. And that's kind of like her back there, and it's her like kind of reconnecting with old friends, people she hasn't seen in years, kind of old relationships, and it's kind of her trying to figure out exactly if she's going to kind of stay there, what she's going to do with her life, and try and kind of get everything together, because she's kind of like sort of falling apart little by little. But pretty interesting kind of character piece here. The next one here from Time Life, this is a pretty cool collection here. They've done a couple other ones of these in the past as well. This is The Tonight Show, with Johnny Carson. This is Johnny and Friends. This has 3 different discs in here, and they're all with either Steve Martin, Robin Williams, and Eddie Murphy, and it's full. It's on each disc. It has 3 full episodes of The Tonight Show. Which feature Robin Williams, like I said, Steve Martin, and Eddie Murphy. And the thing that's pretty cool is each episode has, of course, all the other people who were on the episodes with them, the other guests at the time, as well as commercials. So it has classic commercials for things that were on during the time. So like from '76, with Steve Martin, and like 1991 with Robin Williams. So it's a really cool setup for you if you guys are fans of The Tonight Show. And the last one here from PBS, this is a thing called Food, Delicious Science, and this is all dealing with, the science of food, and it has on here 3 different episodes on here. Food in the Brain, which is basically talking about the chemistry of our food and how, like, the chemistry in our food, like, kind of affects our brains and, like, the taste and all that kind of stuff. A Matter of Taste, which is talking about the science that makes foods taste delicious and the powerful effect it has on our tongue and nose. And then What We Eat, and it's traveling the world in the UK's food food laboratory to deconstruct our favorite meals. So going into the food to a molecular level. So it's kind of all with like the science of food here, and it's 3 different episodes on here. So if you guys are interested in this one, I'll let you guys know this one is out now as well from PBS. But anyway, though, guys, that's all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.